Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Cristiano Ronaldo is back in the Man United squad for the FC Sheriff clash. Recently, Cristiano Ronaldo arrived at Carrington for showdown talks with Erik ten Hag over his future. Ronaldo has missed Manchester United's last two games. He was dropped from the Man United squad for the Chelsea game and obviously played no part against Tottenham. He stormed down the tunnel before full time in Man United's 2-0 win against Tottenham, and after that Erik ten Hag did mention that he would deal with Cristiano Ronaldo. So the last game Ronaldo featured in was the 0-0 draw with Newcastle, and in that game he had a controversial goal ruled out. Don't forget Ronaldo scored his 700th club goal in the 2-1 win against Everton at Goodison Park earlier on this season. As you all know, Ronaldo is open to return to Italy. Napoli is said to be interested and Chelsea are interested in Ronaldo. Man United consider releasing Ronaldo on a free transfer. Ronaldo's contract at the club expires next year. There's an option of an additional year. Manchester United re-signed Ronaldo last year from Juventus, so he's been his second spell at Man United. So that's the news on Ronaldo. But yeah, Manchester United do play FC Sheriff tomorrow at Old Trafford in the Europa League. It's Manchester United's 5th game of the group. So far Man United have played 4 games and won 3 out of 4. Manchester United won away at FC Sheriff 2-0. Manchester United are coming into this game on the back of a 1-1 draw with Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. As you all know, Casemiro rescued a point for Manchester United because he scored an injury time header, and that was his first goal for the club. You could see how much it meant to him by his celebration, but Man United did deserve at least a point in that game. We actually should have won the game because we was dominant, especially in that first half. We had several chances. Chelsea's goal obviously came from a Jorginho penalty. Chelsea got the penalty because Scott McTominay brought down Armando Broja. Didn't he? FC Sheriff, they're from Moldova. They're top of their league. They lost their last game 1-0. FC Sheriff's manager is Stepan Tomas. By the way, Rafael Varane is out with injury, so he won't be playing any part against FC Sheriff, so Harry Maguire is expected to start ahead of him. Varane picked up a thigh injury against Chelsea. He went off the pitch in tears. And Varane is likely to miss the first World Cup match. Varane was injured earlier on this season. He's had quite a few injuries as a United player, so you can say he's injury prone. Manchester United's next league game is West Ham at the weekend. Yesterday, I obviously gave you the news regarding Edwin van der Sar. Edwin van der Sar dismisses talks of becoming Manchester United's Director of Football. He's been linked with the director's role for quite some time now. Edwin van der Sar is the former Manchester United goalkeeper. Van der Sar was Man United's goalkeeper from 2005 to 2011, so he was Man United's goalkeeper for 6 years. Obviously, when he was the goalkeeper at Man United, he won 4 Premier League titles and the Champions League. Man United did get him from Fulham for £2 million. Edwin van der Sar, if he was to come back, he would be reuniting them with Man United. He's now the CEO at Ajax. He's been the CEO at Ajax since 2016. Just want to give you some news, by the way, regarding Michael Edwards. Man United are close to agreeing a deal for Michael Edwards. Michael Edwards is the former Liverpool director. He was at Liverpool for around 11 years. So there you go. And obviously at Man United, we've got Benny McCarthy, Mitchell van der Gag and Steve McLaren. Obviously they've been working alongside Ten Hag. Well, Ten Hag recommended the duo in when he got appointed in as Man United manager. We've got John Murtough, Richard Arnold. Earlier on this year, Sir Alex Ferguson came back to Man United in an advisory role. And the Glazers are still at Manchester United, unfortunately. The Glazers, we've got to get them out of the club because they've been a massive problem at the club for a long time. The Glazers have owned Man United for around 17 years. The other week, though, it said that the Glazers had set a price if they to consider selling the club, and it was $9 billion. Don't forget, the other week, Sir Jim Ratcliffe came out and did admit that he would have bought Man United this summer if the club had been up for sale. Sir Jim Ratcliffe was interested for quite some time in buying the club. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is Britain's richest man. He's the chairman of Ineos. Erik Ten Hag, of course, is the Manchester United manager. He's been the Man United manager now for quite a few months. And I've got to give Ten Hag credit because there has been games this season where I do like the way he's approached them. There has been games as well where he has got some decisions wrong, but despite that, I've still not once prejudged him. I do believe he's the right manager for Manchester United. He needs time. This is his first full season as Manchester United manager. And Ten Hag knew when he'd taken over at Man United that he had big expectations to exceed. His expectations this season will be to get Manchester United a top 4 finish. And if he does that, you can underline that and say that's a good first full season, and obviously build from that. If he was to win a trophy this season, that would be even better because Man United have not won a domestic trophy since 2017. Not so long ago, Erik Ten Hag got named Manager of the Month. Well, Premier League Manager of the Month. Earlier on this year, he replaced Ralf Rangnick. He's under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of an additional year. He is Manchester United's 5th permanent manager since Sir Alex Ferguson. As you all know, Ten Hag has made 6 signings as Manchester United manager so far. He brought Terrell Malacia in, Martinez, Eriksen, Anthony, Casemiro and Dubravka. Man United have spent over 200 million this year. And Ten Hag will be looking to make some more signings in the January transfer window. Ten Hag should get a transfer budget of at least 70 million. Erik Ten Hag has obviously let a lot of players go, but despite that, he's still inheriting Deadwood. This year, we've let a lot of players go. We loaned Dean Henderson out to Nottingham Forest. We let Lee Grant leave earlier on this year. We loaned Tellez out to Sevilla. We loaned Bailly out to Marseille. We let Fred and Matic leave on free transfers. We let Jesse Lingard leave on a free. We let Cavani and Mata leave on free transfers. Yes, we did. Yeah. And we loaned Ethan Laird out. We loaned Hannibal Mejbri out. We loaned Amad Diallo Traore out. We sold James Garner. And we also sold Andreas Pereira. So there are a lot of the players that Man United have let go this year. And like I've said, more players will be leaving the club next year. Next year, De Gea could be leaving on a free because his future is in doubt. Not so long ago, it said that Erik ten Hag was delaying contract decisions on Rashford and De Gea. Could get rid of Dean Henderson permanently. I'm expecting us to get rid of Tellez and Bailly permanently. Jones will leave next year. I think Tuanzebe will leave next year. Good chance Harry Maguire will leave next year because Maguire doesn't get in the team much, obviously following the arrival of Martinez. He'll probably get a chance now, like I said, with Varane being out with injury. Brandon Williams will get rid of him next year because he doesn't get in the team. Last season he was out on loan with Norwich. And Wan-Bissaka, I think he'll go next year. No way back for him in the team because Diego Dalot is Manchester United's first choice right back, and he's featuring every game this season. To his credit, he's been impressive in a lot of games. Bissaka's, I don't think he's no longer injured, but he was injured earlier on this season. Lindelof, he could leave as well next year. Don't get a lot of starts now. He's not been one of our first choice centre-halves since Varane came in. Obviously started a few games earlier on this season when Varane had that first injury. Fred, do you think we could offload him next year? Maybe not, maybe so. Fred's still getting starts, even though we brought Casemiro and Eriksen. A few times now, Fred has played alongside Casemiro in that midfield. Ronaldo, like I said, good chance he'll be leaving next year. I think Manchester United will also sell Anthony Martial because doesn't get in the team much, plus he's had quite a few injuries this season. Don't forget, last season Martial was out on loan with Sevilla. And like I said, Marcus Rashford, his future is in doubt at the moment. So now guys, on my next video I'll be giving you my predicted 11 for the game. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.